F5ing.
Alright.
F5ing for a year. My whole life is F5.
You can hear us all right, stream?
Alright, tell me, can you hear me now? Am I real? Do I exist? Am I not just a pretty face anymore?
I'll turn mine on until.
What's this?
Yeah, I'll turn mine on as well.
Yep.
Alright,
Real.
alright, I'm real now? Okay, cool. You ready for the rewind? We're gonna bring it back.
Alright,
We're gonna bring it back. We're gonna bring it back. Because I said a lot of things and it'd be really sad. Alright, so we're gonna start, well, actually, all the way to the back. Thanks for queuing up with us today. I'm Project. We are starting over because nobody could hear me. And the reason why no one could hear me is because last week I showed you guys 2 puppies, right? And those 2 puppies, turns out, bite wires and chew through them. And 2 days ago, one of them bit through the wire that goes to my headphones, right? Which is not a big deal because I have a keyboard that I can just plug into that place and it'll be fine and I could use my headphones the correct way. However, same puppy, different wire, choose that specific one from my keyboard off, so I had to get old headphones back. Old headphones, plugging in a USB, changed all of my configuration for my sound, and now you can hear me because we fixed it. Damn it. But
now you have 2 mics because of reasons.
yeah, now I have 2 mics because of reasons. Actually, I can just forget which one am I using.
That one.
Or this one. That one? Okay, cool. Alright, so we know that it's this one. Good to go. Now, I was talking about Diablo 3. I'm going to give you guys a short version of what happened in Diablo 3. Basically, the developers did a Q&A where they talked about a whole bunch of different sets to include Mighty the Earth, Shadow's Mantle, Firebirds, Sparknet's favorite set, the Akan set, and several others are all getting revamps. They're talking about Impale spec for Demon Hunters, where Demon Hunters are going to do like really, really high single target and like shitty AoE, and just crazy, crazy numbers to 1 target. So they're basically going to be Rift Guardian killers. And then they're potentially removing, because they're changing the inner set, they're potentially removing anybody not killing things. So like heal monks might go away. ZDPS is almost gone now. Like now it's gone, and then it's almost gone. It'll probably be completely gone once they change the inner set for monks. So we're probably not going to see like a healer type thing anymore, I hope. They're also going to be fixing buffs to where the 8 buffs that we have able to be shown are actually going to be buffs that we care about. So like your Focus and Restraint buff, your Wraps of Clarity buff, your Spirit Guards for monks, stuff like that. Things that you actually use. Convention of Elements, when that rolls 2 different things. So hopefully with all of those changes, the game will be a little bit more streamlined and it'll be a little bit more fun for everybody, because if they take away heal monks and stuff, they might change experience benefits from different items, which would be a really cool thing. They did say that they're not going to change the group experience buff, the 30% buff, but they do intend to, you know, the goal of the game is to slay monsters, and if you have to choose who's going to be the heal monk, right, that's not what they want. So they may just get rid of that 0 DPS or that all-around support class. They may just get rid of that entirely, which would be cool. Really, really cool. That being said, I'm Paragon 703 now. It was a grind. I played my DK a little bit a couple days ago. Or was it yesterday? I don't know. Sinus, when did I play with you? When did I DK with you? 2 days ago. Okay. 3? Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those the last 2 days I've been pushing my RBG rating back up.
Right. Was that a shot? No, so I've been playing a little bit more DK, and I'm getting back into WoW now that have progressed as far as pretty much as far as I'm gonna throughout the season. Like I've full ancient gear on a Hoda Barb. Like I'm basically done. I'm still missing one ring, but it'll be okay. All right, so rolling into WoW, Sinus, what you got, man?
Speaking of WoW,
Spracking a WoW.
well, Spark brought up the oh well, I guess I actually heard all that. Shots fired.
Yeah.
They heard that, but for the sake of recording.
Okay, fair. So we'll just skim over it again. We talked about artifact weapons and the change. We talked about swashbuckler rogues. We talked about ninjas. Maybe getting a katana, some more fun abilities. Maybe reworking Shadow Step to go through pillars, giving it a little bit of a longer cooldown. Maybe seeing like a paralytic bomb, because bombs have been a really big part of rogue for the history of ever. I mean, look at Wrath of the Lich King. Bombs were in Rogue's PvE rotation. Like, engineering bombs were in PvE Rogue's rotation.
Yeah.
That's just part of the Rogue class. Like, that's part of the fantasies, So it's like maybe seeing another bomb added instead of a smoke bomb would be cool. Well, maybe not instead, but, to go along with smoke bomb. Because smoke bomb is a really cool, unique ability that is unlike anything in the game.
Maybe an explosive bomb for combat / swashbuckler.
That'd be cool, yeah.
Are we gonna see swashbuckler? I don't know, man.
I mean,
I'm thinking it's a high
maybe.
possibility.
I could see it, yeah.
I mean, if they're changing names to fit the fantasy of the class,
It's a pretty significant overhaul usually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would say
mean,
swashbuckler will be.
If they're changing names.
I'm thinking with what we've gotten so far, the overhauls we're gonna see are the overhauls from Kata Warlock to Mob Warlock. Felt and looked like a completely different class.
Yeah. Played complete and totally different.
But to everything in the game, Legion will be a
Right.
different World of Warcraft that
Yeah.
no one has ever seen before.
On a personal level, since you play Rogue, what do you want to see change with Rogue? Like, what class, if they could add a spec and it was your design, what do you think they should do?
I think it would really look and feel a lot like Sub Rogue right now in the meta. I think Sub Rogue right now is, I mean, for what it is, perfect. I don't think it could get any better. It does really good damage outside, maybe not outside of Shadow Dance, but Shadow Dance is only a minute cooldown.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Are they going to call it subtlety?
I don't know. I really don't.
Are they going to call it ninja?
I don't know that they're going to call it ninja. I could see something like Shadow Master.
Shadow Master?
Maybe.
That'd be really
Stalker,
cool.
Maybe.
Night Stalker, yeah. Because Sub is kind of designed to be, what a lot of people think Assassination should be, which is, sticking to the shadows and, getting really heavy openers.
Right.
Whereas, like, people think Assassination should be that because you're an assassin,
Right.
You don't want to be seen, you don't want to be heard, you just land a quick kill and leave. And so people think Assassin and Sub... Yeah, exactly. People think Assassin Sub should be switched, but I think it's fine. I mean, I like the idea of Assassination dealing with poisons and things like that, because to me, that's what an Assassination should be. Is like, you show up, you land a couple blows, don't necessarily kill them, walk away, but then they die to the poison and there's no proof you were ever there.
Right.
Know what I mean?
Right.
So, I mean, realistically, I love Sub right now. I think it's fine. I mean, rogues are squishy. If they get caught without trinket, without defensives, and in a stun without a feint. That's the nature of the class, though. That's how rogues have been forever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Does that mean
And
that's
it's
the
like-
way it should stay?
No, I mean, everything is subject to change. I understand that, and I get that, and I'm excited for that. I mean, change can be very good or very bad. Maybe I won't be a sub-rogue in Legion. Maybe I'll be an assassination rogue, or whatever it'll be called. But I think for the time being, if they didn't change a whole lot with Rogue, they would be okay. Because Rogues right now are in a very, very strange state that we haven't seen in a long time. If you look at the ladders for PvP, 3's Arena right now, you see a lot of sub, but you also see a lot of assassin and combat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All three specs are pretty viable, which we haven't seen.
He said the V word. He said the V word.
I did say the V word.
So speaking of the V word, Spark, mages, viability. What do you think they're going to give you, dude?
I think mages are fine. I would like to see, with Demon Hunters coming into the game as being such a mobile class, I would like to see maybe some kind of talent choice or some kind of glyph where we could have double blink.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be really cool. Because, you know, Warriors have 2 charges in Elite, and we have a Elite and a Blazing Speed.
Do you want 2 blinks that will still remove stun because you have a double blink glyph?
Yeah, right. But I would rather it be double. Vin Ruki was actually talking about this, and he said that he would like to see double blink come into the game, and
without a glyph, just
without
baseline.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, like double blink baseline. I got
Other than that, I think mages are fine. Like, I think mages are just really good where they're at. I don't have any big changes I'd like to see, to be honest.
You don't think Arcane is in a weird place right now?
Arcane's in a weird place, but like it still can do damage. Like, it's actually pretty real.
It's actually the single target damage leader in PvE when you have best in slot gear.
True.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like Arcane shines in its own areas. You know, it's very. It's a weird, unique beast. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, they've already brought back Palm Poly for it.
Yeah,
right.
It definitely does shine in its own areas.
Right.
Do you think they could add anything? Do you think there's like another potential spec, like a spec change that they could like add?
I mean, I've played mages in other games that are kind of like elementalists in a way. But I guess that would take away the fantasy of an elemental shaman.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of stepping on the shaman's toes a bit.
So I don't really see anything else they could do. I mean, they've got Arcane, they've got Fire, and they've got Frost. Maybe a combination of the spec, like a Frozen Fire build or something like that. But for the most part, like, I would just like to see some interesting resources for characters. Like, I would like to see Frost kind of build up this thing where you're like, you use Frozen Power, and Arcane use like Arcane Power, and even Fire use some kind of like crit builder modifier where, like, as you build up embers, or you build up, not embers per se because it's Destro, but like as you build up, like as you ignite yourself on fire, your crit rating increases.
Right.
What about like what about playing with the idea of getting multiple crits in a row and doing like explosions?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, if you get 3 in a row, and like you would get an extra damage from like an explosion or whatever.
Yeah, that would be cool. Like, I would like to see something like that.
They could tie that in with what I was saying about rogue bombs. I could have an oil bomb, and then when you line up some huge damage with fire, I could drop my oil bomb, and you could ignite the oil, and boom, fire damage, because reasons. And it could also play into elemental shamans with lava burst, hunters with trap, like their explosive trap, and or even flare, realistically.
Honestly, I think
was actually talking about that.
What, flare? Okay, so
like weeks ago we had this conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. Weeks ago we were talking about the potential of not just like adding another battleground, but adding I was calling them war zones. I've actually submitted I think it was 6-ticket suggestion about war zones, and like my thoughts about it. But basically, it comes down to I think they could add, instead of adding another battleground, they add a war zone to where like without like taking away from that childhood game at all. Like, the floor is fucking lava. You know what I mean? Like, there are barrels in places, and if you break the barrel, then oil goes everywhere. And if a hunter puts a flare on it, it sets the oil on fire. You know, shit that makes sense. And like the fire will kill you if you stand in it too long. And because the fire will kill you in 4 seconds, if you get gripped and stunned inside the fire, you're fucked. You know what I mean? You better trinket or you die, right? How cool would that be to have an interactive like area like that? And like, you know, it's going to be, obviously you would not want that to be rated, right? But even non-rated, I think that would be hilarious. Like, it'd be,
there's
you know,
no
like
way that could be an arena because Thugly would win the game.
Right. Like,
yeah.
You know, I mean, like, definitely not an arena, definitely not a battleground. Give us fucking war zones, man. Give us a place where we can go and have fun. Like that is not a place that you would put a rating on. That's not a place that you would want, like, really highly competitive PvP. That's a place where montages are made. That's what I want.
YouTubers and the streamers
Right.
go and run the show.
That's like Ashran except cool.
Yeah.
People are gonna try to set up.
Yeah.
People are right. Ashran only fun.
Yeah.
Like what I want to see is a place where 5 Death Knights queue together. Right. Yeah, it would absolutely. It'd be like a PvE battleground, right? And there would be a focus. You know, like an overall focus of the thing you would try to be accomplishing an objective, right? But like at the end of the day, like, I want 5 DKs to queue into a place with the attempt to grip someone from this specific point 5 times into fire that has been set on fire by a hunter, right? And then stun them in place after they've been, you know, 5 gripped into that spot. I want plays to be made in that place and hilarity to happen and memories to be made with friends. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that's the kind of place that is. Right, absolutely. You know, like, that's one of those things where, like, you know, Sparknuts Polly's a guy, right? Sparknuts Polly's a guy to keep him in place. I death grip him. He gets cheap shotted, right? And then while he's cheap shotted in the fire because I didn't have a stun up, Joe Bunny walks up and Warrior fears this motherfucker, keeps him in the fire, and he dies, right? And then the whole time while this has been going on, Yoda was in the back, like, wind shearing a healer so that he couldn't stop this whole thing from happening, right? Like, that's the type of shit I want to happen. Like, and that's just from a fire. That's right. That's just from a fire hazard, right? Yeah. There could be all kinds of shit like that, man. Like all kinds of
more environmental.
Absolutely.
To it.
You could put in Corcron fire barrels up next to like a tower. Explode the tower, falls on someone, instant one shot.
Right. And how many oil barrels do you think the Burning Legion has? A lot. A lot of them. Enough that I can set at least 2 on fire. You know?
Stick an imp in a barrel.
What's up?
Yeah.
Just stick a fire imp in a barrel.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So Yoda,
well,
what would if you could change anything about your class and your spec for enhancement shamans, what would you change?
Well, I would want wind spray weapon to be kind of brought back as a main form of damage. I missed the 2-handed playstyle, but not really from vanilla, because that shit was OP. But as far as like, I feel like in a lot of ways they're in a pretty good spot, but there's still a lot of damage sources, and before the buffs, like, you were hitting even more buttons, like spamming, you know, like, even more abilities, lava lashing over and over again, like, with little effect. I don't quite understand why they kind of nerfed Tremor Totem and the hex aspect of it, like instant hexing off of Maelstrom weapon stacks.
Mm-hmm. I can tell you why. The same reason we can't instant clone anymore.
True.
Yeah. Healer life, dude.
Clone was much more powerful though than hex.
Very true. Very true.
There's a lot of curse dispel too. Like you can just dispel it.
Absolutely.
But, I mean, Shaman is the Enhance is the only melee in the game without one instant CC. Shaman in general actually is.
Actually, that's completely true.
However, they have the best kick in the game.
True.
Wind Shear is the best kick in the game. Shortest cooldown, really good lockout.
Right.
And it's ranged.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, what's the range on Wind Shear? Like what's actually?
I think it's 30, 25. I think it's like around 25, 30 yards.
Something like that, yeah.
I know it. Yeah, it's definitely not 40 yards, but it feels like it is. I've only healed for like a season and a half, but on my Holy Pally, I'm telling you right now that Wind Shear is like, Wind Shear made me want to find something innocent and kill it. Like honestly, like so much rage came out of me when I got Wind Sheared every 15 seconds on cooldown. Like
Right.
it was awful.
Yeah, it used to be a 5-second cooldown too back in the day.
Yeah, and that was terrible for everyone.
So, yeah.
But other than that, I kind of feel like the totem system is actually getting a little bit outdated. I don't know, especially now, you used to have the searing flames mechanic attached to the searing totem, where when it did damage, you would get a stack, which would increase lava dash damage.
Right.
And I rarely, like, searing totem is my lowest priority ability. It's if nothing else is up, I'll place it.
Right.
But it just doesn't really matter. Now, magma totem still has some uses, mainly just from a PvP standpoint, mainly to try to get stealth out,
Right.
like rogues and
Spinning flags.
Spinning.
Yeah.
Actually, does it spin every time it ticks now, or did that get
Right.
first tick?
Unless it's
Yes.
if it's non-rated, it's every tick. If it's a rated BG, it's the first tick. So you have to keep applying it to the ground
Right.
every single
Okay.
global.
Okay.
But it's
Cool.
still OP as hell.
Yeah, that's one thing I did like. That is one change I did like about WoD is the fact that it does its first tick immediately when you summon it instead of waiting like a couple seconds after you summon it for it to do its thing.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, man. Like, I've seen a whole bunch of stuff get changed with a lot of classes, and what I don't understand is how me as a Frosty K with everything plus extra macros like built in, I can have 48 keybinds, and a buddy of mine that plays Resto Shaman can have 59 keybinds and not have enough.
I have 60. Plus, some
Yeah.
of them are modifying macros.
Right.
You said you have 48 keybinds.
On a Frosty K, yes.
I have 48 macros.
Right. I'm a Frosty K.
That's not even.
I'm a Frosty K. What I'm saying is like at the low end of like how many buttons you need to press, right? Like DKs have what, like we have one real CC, we have an interrupt, right? And then we have Dark Sim. I don't have a lot of things I need to do to everyone on the enemy arena team, right? Whereas Rogues, you have a million things you need to do to, you know what I mean? But Shaman, dude, you need all kinds of totem spots. Like, you need a totem spot on every button on your entire action bar. Like, there's not enough action bars in the default UI for what a Shaman actually needs. There are people that like wish there were more action bars because they play a Shaman. That's not okay. That's really, really not okay.
Yeah.
That being said, I think Shaman's, like, if you guys get an overhaul, I think it would be welcome from everybody.
Yeah.
Like the whole community. There's no one that PvPs that doesn't say kill the blue. And there's no one that PvPs that says kill the blue that doesn't think that should not be that way. You know what I mean?
Right. Train the blue.
Yeah. That's
like going into an arena, seeing a blue, like,
and getting excited.
It's funny the first few times, but after you're queuing like 500 games in the season, like 1,000 games in the season, you're just like, all right, well, Yeah, let's just
Yeah, I mean, like what other option do we have than to like when you get excited to see a resto shaman because you know it's dead already before the gates open, like that's not okay, dude.
Yeah.
But
what is okay though is something that you don't see at all, which is what makes it okay, because when you do see it, it's like Christmas, a little bit of Holy Priest.
It's true. Those are delicious. They're a rare and elusive breed. They're actually
straight up tasty.
You actually like you have to train something else because they're on the endangered species list. Like you actually can't kill them. You have to kill their teammates now. You just have to like put them in the cage in the corner. But okay, so we talked about your 3 classes, right? I'm gonna tell you what I want, and everybody's gonna bitch at me, and I don't care. I want an unholy healing spec. I want unholy to be turned into a healing spec exclusively. That's what I want. What I actually think would be viable to do is have an option between a healing or damage spec. But I want to be able to have my goal that I summon wrap its arms and body around the target to make it take less damage. That's what I want. I want it to be like a shadowy healer, you know. What's up? No, I don't. I don't want it to be a bandage rogue. I actually want it to be like a consistent healer. I also would like the idea that you could make your target. You can make your target like do certain things to people that hit it. Right, like while that dude is wrapped around its target, right? Anything that touches that little ghoul's body that's wrapped around the other DK or the ret pally that you did it to, right? Any of that stuff like gets some sort of like necrosis effect, right? I think that would be fucking amazing. Like there's so many avenues that you could take with that, and honestly, who the fuck plays Unholy? Get rid of the damn thing.
I love Unholy.
Yeah, okay, Fire Mage. Like who the
I like Unholy too.
Who that plays DK all the Sinus wake up.
Oh my
get off your desk. Of the people
so many shots, every shot fired. Literally out of ammo. It's all over.
You gotta reload.
Walk out.
Okay. Alright. I'm gonna go take a nap and you guys can finish it. But no, seriously though, like of the people that play DK all the time, how many of them play Unholy?
I'd say there's still a fairly decent amount of people that play Unholy.
Percentages. What's up? Sometimes, maybe, if he's feeling like fancy that day. But no, what I'm really saying is like things need to happen. Even like if they made a frost healing spec, I would be cool with it. Actually, that'd be fucking amazing, right? Because then I could. What's up?
He knows what he's talking about.
What?
Look at chat. Giovanni said all of them.
All of them? All of the DKs play Unholy? That's not true. All of them play Frost, and some of them play Unholy sometimes.
Blood. Swag.
Maw of the Damned. Scorn. Maw of the Damned.
That is what that weapon is called.
It is Maw of the Damned.
It is Maw of the Damned.
For those of you that don't know,
it's Maw of the Damned. And
right.
It's the Maw of the Damned, and it's a mace with a skull on it. And it's the Maw of the Damned.
It's an axe. It's an axe. In both games, it's an axe. Okay, so what we're talking about right now is in Diablo 3, there's a weapon, right? And it's called Scorn, right? And it incredibly looks exactly like Maw of the Damned and came out a year ago. So it looks like exactly like the new Blood DK legendary weapon, Maw of the Damned.
It's called Maw of the Damned, not Scorn.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I showed him Scorn, and he was like, "That's Maw of the Damned. That is an axe. It is in WoW, or it will be in WoW, and it is called Maw of the Damned." And he like freaked out literally for 20 minutes, like not even a joke. It was amazing, dude. But no, man, I'm like, there's a lot of changes that could be made, and I'm gonna hold that like Unholy could absolutely be a healing spec. I'll say that forever. Nobody's gonna actually let it happen, but they should just, just let it happen, right?
Question:
What?
Have you seen Nether spawn of Nether spawn? The rare, or the rare that you get to pet from.
No.
It's a rare in Nagrand called Nether spawn of Nether spawn. Maw of the Damned, spawn of Maw of the Damned. Is
Okay.
what that acts
Okay.
as.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So, all of that being said, I want healer DK. That's really where that comes from. However, I do want to talk about a class that's near and dear to a friend of ours' heart. I want to talk about warriors. I want to talk about arms warriors. I want to talk about how Fury and arms are like the same thing with the same buttons, and they look different because they hold different weapons, and that's like, that needs to be changed, dude.
Well, I'll start off by saying their defensives are really strong. I think their defensives are in a really good spot.
Trollest of trolls. Oh my god.
I mean, if anything, I think they need to take away Die by the Sword. It's too strong.
He's gonna come to your place. He's gonna find you. Joe Boney is gonna.
that door.
But then the rebuttal is, what about evasion?
True. Let's talk about feint then. Let's talk about feint in your feint clip.
I don't wear plates, so.
Hmm.
Joe Boney, LOL, this guy.
Yeah, but no, seriously though, like arms warriors, their playstyle is slow and clunky.
Yeah.
But when you set it up, they chop.
Yeah, it's almost like reverted to vanilla in a way, but without overpowered, without chance dancing.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Bring overpower back.
Yeah.
That would help. That would
Right.
help a lot.
I don't
Bring
even.
overpower and shield wall.
I really enjoyed arms in MoP actually. Like I don't get
Yeah.
why they just took 10 steps back with arms.
Right.
Because people were tired of getting 300k heroic strike because overpower.
I mean,
Well, they did.
They changed that.
They changed that. But yeah, that stacking
I just-
for blood. They changed that.
yeah.
Like later on.
I just don't. What I don't understand is how overpower was the counter to feint, and feint's still in the game. Like, you say what you want and you fight for it as much as you want. Soon you know that's fucked. That's
It was
fucked
the
up.
epitome of anti-rogue.
Right. Overpower.
Because-
Overpower made warriors anti-rogue.
Because I'm a leather wearer.
Right. Yeah. There's no actual there's no actual argument for it at all.
Well, if
Like,
it makes you feel better, not only did they get rid of feint, but they made it give me 1,000 versatility because fucking reasons.
yeah, because reasons. Like, none of it makes sense. Obviously, we need a rogue in BlizzCon, therefore, give you a million versatility for no reason. But like none of that shit made sense. None of it.
Here, we're gonna give you a passive shield wall all the time and an extra 5% damage reduction on top of whatever you already have from versatility.
Plays a rogue, thinks it's fucked up.
And a damage
Right.
increase too. And
Plus 30 seconds of evasion because fuck melee. Drop the mic, I'm out.
True.
Like, you wanted to hit me? Nah, ain't happening, dude.
I just don't get it, man. Like, Warrior's in a really bad spot, honestly. Like, you do a shit ton of damage, but like, if you don't have a healer, what are you?
You're worse off than you were in MoP.
You're dead. You're dead. You were in the graveyard all the time, forever. Like, if you don't bring healers with you as a warrior, like, the reason why Swifty brings healers, the reason why, Bajira sometimes brings healers, everybody, really. If you play a warrior, you have a healer friend. And if you don't have a healer friend, you're really upset with PvP right now. I mean, like, that's really the way, that's what it comes down to.
You can't play what a warrior's supposed to be without a healer.
Right.
You can't charge in, really.
Right, you're not
Yeah,
tanky.
I really enjoy dueling warriors, though. I do.
Yeah, because it's easy.
I feel bad. I feel like. I
mean,
feel
it's not
bad
necessarily-
when I duel a warrior. Especially
Okay.
if fire mage.
All right,
With
let's
Ignite
take a
Glyph,
step back.
right?
If we're
Ignite
talking
Glyph?
about, if we're talking about anti-warrior, Ignite Glyph Fire Mage.
Yeah.
True.
I rest my case. There's my rebuttal. I'm done.
DM hunters to an extent too.
Right.
Yeah.
Pick a class. Pick a class that.
Hunters are kind of anti-mage.
Frozen ammo.
Give me a class that will lose to a warrior on a consistent basis. Warriors are fucked.
Maybe Windwalker monk, but yeah, that's if the warriors
Karma the Recklessness.
Sure.
die by
Yeah.
the karma, maybe.
Yeah. No. No.
Or
No. That's
yeah.
fucked up. That's fucked up, man. There's not one. Like you can absolutely beat a warrior.
Really, really, really bad warlock.
Yeah.
Sure.
As long as he doesn't play Destro. because
Okay.
bad
All right. A
Destro
Destro.
he'll
Destro lock. Okay,
Really
that's
bad.
what we got. So what I've got so far is we need to change Destro lock, and we really need to change warriors as a whole, because honestly, like as a DK and sometimes a rep pally, because reasons, I will tell you, warriors are not a plate class. You say what you want, but I've never fought a warrior and felt like this dude wears fucking plate. He is hard as shit to kill. Like, that's not a thing. That doesn't exist, right? As a ret, you can heal yourself. You can tank through a whole bunch of shit. As a DK, you're a DK. And, you know, like, as a warrior, you're just like a glass cannon. And by glass, I mean, like, the fake glass.
I don't know what you're talking about. 141k death from above.
I just don't get it, man. There's all kinds of shit that's fucked up with warriors right now, dude.
Now, I do kind of actually want to shift sides a little bit and answer Creep and J. Rogue could use work for all three specs. I went from sub to assassin, and the amount of stuff to worry about dropped a shit ton. Correct. Sub is without a doubt the hardest rogue spec to play.
Yep.
Saying it. If you don't agree with me,
It's true.
go talk to any other rogue, and they'll say the exact same thing.
It's absolutely true.
Rogue and Windwalker monk are two of the hardest classes to play in PvP.
Yeah.
So
I'd say Sub Rogue is probably the hardest, to be honest.
I don't know,
To
man.
do well.
Monk, you have to play to like perfection on Windwalker.
You do have to play to perfection to actually kill somebody on Windwalker Monk.
If a really good Windwalker monk is like the scariest thing in the world, though. I will say that.
Really good sub rogue.
I mean,
Also the scariest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Controls a team by himself.
Yep.
Peekaboo? No. Peekaboo is scary as shit. What's the other one? Who's that guy from that tournament last week? Roasties. Roasties needs. All right, we need to talk. We need to shift gears a little bit. Yeah, that tournament last week. Can we talk about how RMD beat RMD because RMD is RMD? I
think you left out an RMD somewhere in there.
Oh, and by the way, Vanguards was there and lost to Dillipoo, the only hunter. Yeah, I saw that, right? That was sad times.
Speaking of that,
Jelly beans.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, not Dillipoo.
Yeah,
Dillipoo was there, but he wasn't in the tournament. Yeah. Jellybeans talked a lot of shit. I don't know if you guys saw those interviews or whatever, man, but Jellybeans went really, really hard. The words "I'm the best" came out like a million times.
Yeah.
Like a million times. Like, what the fuck? And then he lost to RMD.
I think what it was, and call me a Peekaboo fanboy, call me whatever it is. I think Peekaboo is a better rogue than Roasties. However, I think Roasties' RMD was a better RMD than Peekaboo's.
True.
Roasties played better with his mage and his druid, and they rolled cooldowns and they rolled CC together better than Peekaboo's did. If we're going off of solo rogue play, I think Peekaboo's better. If we're going off of team play, which wins regionals, I think Roasty's team is better.
True.
I honestly think the weak link was Jamili because of how offensive he plays.
I'll agree with that.
I think so too.
I think that hurt their team because of how offensive he usually is.
Yeah, I do think he goes way too hard, you know, and it's cool. That works sometimes. That works out for him. Like it worked out in the one game that Juveniles lost, right? It worked out for them. But in every other every other game, unless the other team made a mistake, him going way too hard was just a mistake. You know?
I mean,
Yeah, it was exploited.
mages are squishy. Rogues can be squishy without feint. Why play offensive? Why play like, you know?
Right.
Why push when you could stay back, play a little defensive, roll your CC, go into land a kill with triple CC on the whole team.
Right. It's not like
that 3v0, make the 3v0 and win the game.
Right. And
Roasty's RMD, I have to say, that's some of the best RMD cross CC I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what, man. Like,
Perfectly executed.
there's never been another druid in the history of WoW PvP that's gotten off that many offensive clones as Cubsy has. There's never, and the reason why is because his team set him up to where he will never get CS during a Cyclone cast ever.
Exactly.
Because his team is a team. Like,
go back, watch I challenge everyone right now in the stream watching, go back and watch the replays of juveniles playing against other people. Every time there was a clone, the team was triple CC'd.
every single time, dude. Every single time.
Cubsy casted a clone, there was triple CC on the enemy team.
It was kind of crazy, honestly.
And
like,
if not, it was just Cubsy realizing the fact that, hey, there's no kicks right now. I'm not going to get interrupted. I can push up here and land a clone.
and I would like to reiterate. I know that most people know this, but for those of you that don't know, during these tournaments, these guys are allowed to use 0 add-ons. They're allowed to use like
Stopwatch is your friend, though.
What's up?
Stopwatch.
Oh yeah. Stopwatch is your friend, absolutely. And they do use like certain scripts to move things within game that are allowed to be used like in a macro form, right? And obviously
written up by Blizz and given to them.
Right. I want this to do this.
Yeah. Blizzard writes up the allowed scripts for a tournament and puts them on a website for the tournament players, and the tournament players are allowed to use those scripts only.
Right.
And by scripts, we're not talking like the RBG script damage macro where they do perfect damage. We're talking this script will move my arena frames to the bottom left instead of top right.
Right.
Or like Death Knight runes from top left to
Yeah.
right after
Yeah.
your character, right
Exactly.
after your character,
Right.
Yeah.
and bigger, increase your size.
Like there is no like omni bar, right? There is no like I know exactly when the other guys' kicks are coming back up. Like if the other team wasn't perfectly CC'd, it's because Cubsy knew that there were no more kicks on the other team, and that's more impressive that's made a lot more impressive by the fact that there are 0 add-ons at all allowed in this tournament. That's absolutely crazy, right?
Because it's so easy. It's so easy, and we all take it for granted to just look at your omnibar and be like, I can cast.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely, dude. Like
when you don't have that, it absolutely immense amount of skill.
like
I
as
actually don't use Omnibar for any add-ons.
I mean,
That's impressive.
yeah. I mean, as an in-hand shaman, it's not as impressive, right? But if you played Resto and you played well without that, you would be like at the top of my hero list, honestly, because that's crazy. Healers that don't use add-ons at all are scary to me. Like, you are not human.
It's still pretty impressive, though, when you think about Hex and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I mean, I use Omnibar on my rogue, and I don't show interrupts.
I'm just saying.
What I show is stuns, because
True.
when I know, hey, his kidney shot's gonna be back up in 3 seconds. When it gets to 1 second, I reapply my feint. How many times I have gone 1 second, feint, kidney, I cannot tell you.
Yeah, like just as a melee in general, because your whole life doesn't revolve around casted spells, right? It's a little bit less impressive, but it's still like Jesus, man. Like as a DK, I use Omnibar sometimes. I just don't. I don't see how people don't use that add-on, and to not use any add-ons is pretty amazing. If you guys have ever seen my setup, it's a little bit elaborate because I don't intend to ever be in a tournament. Therefore, I'll make my whole screen look like Diablo.
I mean, that's actually.
Yeah. I mean, it's.
Yeah.
Well.
I mean, I probably play. I'm actually probably pretty even with Spark on add-ons. I use a very little amount of add-ons. I use a Slice and Dice tracker and Omnibar and Gladius, and that's it.
Yeah.
I use Omni CC. I use Gladius. I do use Gladius, and I use Combustion or Ignite, the Ignite add-on. And that's pretty much all I use.
Yeah.
I do use Battleground targets whenever I'm in RPGs.
VGT, I use VGT, that's true. And
Right.
I have Recount CC because when I lead, I like to tell when people are doing what they're doing.
Right.
All I use are Recount and Master Plan. And that's it for every class I play.
Master Plan and Recount, dude. Dude, Master Plan. I'm telling you, that changed my wife's whole way of life. Because I don't know if you know. Actually, come here. Come here. Come here.
Are we gonna get
Come here.
wife here?
Yeah.
Hello, Mom?
Come here, Jessica. All right. Fine. Don't make me move the camera. I'll do it. Come over here on your own free will or not. But I'm gonna move the camera. All right.
Yeah.
So my wife is an achievement hunter, and she got how many achievement points yesterday? This is not about her. It's about me. Okay. She got 300 achievement points yesterday.
That's insane.
300 achievement points in one day.
Dang.
Currently, we're at what, 21,000? Somewhere in that range. Yeah, there's a leaderboard for achievements, and she's on it somewhere, right? And about 3,000 more achievement points, she will be like nearing the top of the list. It's scary as fuck.
Okay, well, I'm going to take the reins and say we gotta move on to the next thing.
Word.
Because we've been kind of lingering. So, one thing I wanted to touch up on, I'm gonna go through my little weekly spiel I do on lore and professions and whatnot.
I'm actually really excited for this.
Archaeology dig sites are being fixed, which is huge because they were broken and I wanted to rip my hair out, because what was happening is the map was overlapping and you would be in the dig zone, but it would say you can't survey here because it's not a dig zone, and it was the most frustrating thing in the world, and I'm just gonna like drink a glass of tea and calm down because anger. That is fixed, or it will be fixed this Tuesday. I am not sure. It may already be fixed. I haven't had a chance to do archaeology today, so I don't know. But that's huge. That's really good. I'm super excited about that. Obviously, not a lot of people in the game do archaeology, but the ones that do will be really thankful for the fix, and the ones that don't, I'm sure can figure out that it would be really annoying. You know, that's good. Fixes are good. A little bit of a touch on lore. Gen Greymane is coming into Legion fairly... Well, I don't want to say fairly large because we don't know yet. However, he will be part of the Legion storyline. And what we've been given hints at is that he is willing to fight to defend the Alliance with everything he has. Hint, hint, will Gen Greymane die? What do you think? In Legion.
Death to the Alliance.
I'm a troll now, man. Fuck him. Fuck him, dude.
I'm a double agent, so.
Double agent? How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, I think he'll die.
You think so?
I don't think Greymane will die. I don't think Greymane will
I
die.
can see it because my mom is really strong.
Yeah.
And
Ladies.
Gul'dan doesn't go down, you know.
My
I mean-
salute because Sylvanas is my mom.
I mean, I'm still looking for the comeback from Nuzul, i.e. the current Lich King.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So you know, we're waiting on Dad. But nah, man, I don't think Greymane's gonna die. And I really don't. And I don't think he's gonna die because he hasn't been a big part of like WoW lore since he became like he's like the leader of the Worgen right now. Like just because he hasn't been a big part makes him an okay character to kill. Like I think that he hasn't been a big enough character and hasn't fleshed out enough story for them to just kill him right now. If anything, he's gonna kill off a major player from the Horde even. Like, yeah, sure, I'm a troll now, but a week ago, and for the last like 4 or 5, about a week ago, my DK was a Worgen and has been for years, man. I really don't think that like Greymane has not fleshed out enough story yet. Like, there's no way.
I can tell you right now, if Greymane kills Sylvanas, I will be the douchebag rogue in Stormwind, killing every single Worgen I see forever. I will no longer do arena.
They're not gonna.
RPG rating will be 0. I will have the most overpowered gear in the game today, and I will sit in Stormwind killing every single Worgen I see.
And because of that, they won't kill Sylvanas. Sylvanas will not die because of that. Like,
if
there's.
she does die, she'll come back.
Right. Which is probably some sort of, like, she's already died once, right? And she was brought back by the Valkyrie through the crazy ass pact or whatever, right? So, like, if anything, she's gonna die and come back with like a new, crazier overlord, you know, expansion after Legion type of, you know, raid boss mechanic, right?
I serve the Dark Lady in everything I do.
Right.
Speaking of lore, though, how about all of the lore that they're packing into Legion? I mean,
it's almost too much, man. It's crazy.
It's like 2 or 3. It's like 2 expansions worth of lore in one expansion. I mean, you got Ashera, you know.
Ashera, you've got Illidan coming back.
Yeah.
You get the background story of the Illidari, you know.
Yeah,
that's a lot of stuff, man. There's a lot of stuff.
I'm super excited to see where they go with it. I like Legion lore. I don't know who doesn't. Like,
yeah.
The Burning Legion is World of Warcraft.
Yeah, it is.
I kind of want to know. Like, what's gonna happen. And mind you, I'm really like single-minded this way. The original DKs were created by warlocks of the Horde, right? Putting their souls into gems that were then placed into fallen Stormwind soldiers. Terran Gorfian was originally Terran Gore, right? And he was an Orc warlock. And then he became Terran Gorfian by Gul'dan, who was given that power by the Burning Legion. What I want to know is there going to be, like, with the DK starting zone and shit, are we going to see some, like, weird, like, old-ass, like some OG DKs come into play? You know, like,
rolling up?
Yeah,
like the original DK. Maybe?
Yeah. Like, are we gonna see, like, yeah, we got him back. You know, we got Illidan back now. What, like, with the Burning Legion coming in and trying to take over everything, like, who all's gonna come into play? Because they said that they were gonna kill off some really well-known person or persons, right? But they didn't say anything about who the fuck was going to help us kill, you know, all the everything that is the Burning Legion, right? Like, Dad could come back full force.
Dad.
Yeah.
Project Dad is the Lich King. Those people.
Dad could be here. Dad could come back.
Okay. Correction. Wait. I mess this up every time. Is your dad Arthas as the Lich King or Ner'zhul Lich King?
They're the same person.
Or both?
They're the same person. Arthas was never in control.
I mean...
Arthas was never in control.
He was at the start.
Dad, is it over? Or father, is it over? No king rules forever, my son. He was never in control. Ner'zhul was. The fact that Ner'zhul embodied the armor and had his soul placed... Well, not just the helm. Not just the helm. He was in all of the armor.
His mind was in the... I know, his mind was in the helm, though. So
right.
That's why, like, the Helm of Damnation stands out, because that's kind of like... literally the mastermind of the Lich King.
Right. So...
His mind.
Right. So Ner'zhul is the Lich King. Ner'zhul is the Lich King, right? Like, Arthas was just like a body. Thanks. You know? And now...
I like Arthas.
Yeah.
Arthas is a bro. Sylvanas is more of a bro. She's a broette. And an absolute baller, and anything, any possible good and or badass and or awesome word in the dictionary you could use to describe someone, she's all of that times 4.
Right.
So just, yeah.
So another question comes into play of, could Dad come back? What role does Illidan have to play? Do you guys have any theories about what Illidan is doing here? Like, what
He's
is...
on our side, it's been confirmed.
It has...
I hate to say it.
Has been confirmed?
Has been confirmed.
Okay.
My bad for... I feel like a jerk now.
No, it's been confirmed.
Should have let... No, dude. Maybe there's people in the chat who didn't want spoilers. I should have been like, okay, spoiler alert, mute the stream until I drop my hand. Or like write spoiler on a piece of paper. And then say that after they mute the stream.
It's already done. It's already over.
I apologize for
either way, though, they were going to find out one way or the other. What I will say, though, is that if Illidan is potentially on our side, where does Gul'dan sit with all of this? We do know that Khadgar was... Jesus, names are hard right now. He was Medivh's apprentice, right? We know that, right? And we do know that Medivh was not himself for a little while, right? So what role is Khadgar? What role is Khadgar going to play in this whole thing, right?
That's a good question.
Has Khadgar been a double agent the whole time?
I don't think so.
The whole time?
I don't think so.
Have you done the legendary quest line yet?
I have. Not fully, but I've seen the full thing.
So you know what I'm talking about. Where does Khadgar stand? Where does Khadgar stand after the legendary quest line? If you haven't done it, I'm not going to give it away because spoilers, but if you haven't done it and you don't know the storyline yet, it might be a good time to go look up a YouTube video about that quest line and see what happened to Khadgar and why I'm asking these questions. Dude, there's a whole bunch of stuff, dude. How do you guys feel about South Shore? Not South Shore, Dark Shores.
Oh, I got excited. I was like, South Shore versus Tarn Mill, let's kill him! Let's kill him! Bloodbath as fuck, dude, bring it! Like, no, but... Yeah.
Like, these zones are fucking amazing.
I think they look really good. And I'm really impressed that they're looping all of it together in one expansion. I kind of just want it to be here tomorrow.
Yeah, me too.
True.
But it's like, the zones are just so diverse and there's so much different lore in each zone coming together.
Absolutely. Yoda, I've already got the other guys' opinions. How do you feel about the Emerald Nightmare?
I think it's been a long time coming. And
True.
I like that they took all of these so-called leaks and actually kind of put them in the game in one way or another in this expansion.
Nobody was right and nobody was wrong.
Right, because they have a dungeon called Eye of Ashara. So, you know, I mean, because there was a fan concept idea for that expansion, and they included it as a dungeon, as like a, you know, just kind of like a joke, I guess, like a reference to it.
Right.
So,
are you
I think it's pretty.
Are you excited to see up in there though? Dude, that's been a long time coming. Everybody wanted to see the Emerald Dream, the Emerald Nightmare. Yeah. Everybody wants to see that, right? Like, from an artist standpoint, I am not more excited about anything in this whole expansion. I gotta know.
Like, I'm actually really pumped because I mean I haven't even really raided since Wrath ended Icecrown Citadel, and this might actually, I think this will get me back into PvE. Let's just put it that way.
You think so? This is gonna bring you back in, dude. I'll be honest with you. The Hellfire Citadel is pretty fucking sweet. Pretty fun. I've kind of like died off on it because I did it for enough weeks, but Hellfire Citadel is fun, man. And that being said, we do kind of need to like wrap this up. We've been going for a minute. We have been going for a little while. We do kind of need to rein it back in. LFG Live, the guild, has been running, has been going. We are on Arthas US, so if anybody has a Horde tune and you would like to play with us, you can hit me up at project with the 2Ks like you see there on Arthas. At any point in time, if I'm on, you can hit up Sinus as well. Sparknuts, your character has an X at the end of it, right?
Sadly, yes, it does.
Sad times. So you can hit up the three of us, Sinus Project or Sparknuts, for a guild invite. If you just want to play with us, hit us up anywhere, man. Anywhere, really. Like, yeah,
Our
Twitter
our panels
in-game.
are a little bit outdated. Hopefully, sometime within the next week, down in the panels below, there will be links to all of our individual channels, links to our Twitter, links to
Our sponsored
like,
Gamers League.
sponsored Gamers League.
Absolutely.
And that is all in the works, but in the works isn't done. So
Sure.
it will get there. Everything requires time. That's actually one of the things I wanted to hit up was the guild and trying to get some people to come hang out with this because it's super cool, super fun. We're going to be doing everything arenas, RBGs, raiding, whatever you like to do. We'll be hitting that up. And then the other one I wanted to talk about was a pretty much, I think at this point, like universal shout out and thank to Gamers League for being amazing.
Yeah. Thanks to everybody over at Gamers League. They've been very very helpful and very like actively on board. Like they're down. They're hooking us up. Basically, as of right now, we just established like a partnership, but more things to come. Cool things with Gamers League. We're still working on some things with them, but hit up gamersleague.com. It's been on your screen the whole time you've been watching this, right above the World of Warcraft Legion, but they do a lot more than just WoW stuff. So go hit up their website. They're pretty cool. A lot of really sweet guides on there.
Too, so.
Yeah. That website.
Work in progress.
Yeah, that website's still up and coming as well. But there are some really good guides that are on there. Shout out to Possum, who does a lot of work. Like Possum has been like single-handedly involved with like uploading and updating, like I would say 90% of their WoW guides on that. So Possum, you're kind of a god. And that's it, man. Right? Aren't we done? Did we hit everything?
Before we go, we're gonna hit our guest here, Yoda, and let him give a shout out to his channel, places where you can find him, and things like that. So Yoda, if you want to give a shout out to your channel and things.
Yeah, where can we find you, man?
All right, so you can find me at twitch.tv/Yoda Gaming. I do have a Twitter, and I haven't used it as much as I should be, but it's linked to my Twitch, so at least it does say like on Twitter it tweets when I go live.
Sweet.
I do have a Facebook fan page at Yoda Gaming as well.
You got me beat. I don't have one of those.
Which, like I said, I haven't been as good with social media as I should be, and yeah, it's been a few months since I've really done anything with the Facebook page, but
Word.
Work in progress, I guess.
You stream though, right?
Yep,
I've
stream regularly.
I've actually been around for a couple of his streams, just creeping a little bit, and he's pretty entertaining to watch, especially when things go a little bit sideways, and specifically when he gets feared for long periods of time. It's pretty fun to watch. It's pretty amusing. So I definitely recommend stopping by his channel. Like obviously before we brought him on the stream, I had to do a little bit of background, right? Like I had to see what this guy does. He's pretty fun to watch, guys. So definitely go check him out. Twitch.tv/Yoda Gaming. You can do the same for Sinus here in about a week or two. Whenever he starts streaming again, whenever he gets his internet.
I don't know when I'm going home.
Yeah. Whenever internet goes good for Sinus again.
I was supposed to go home today, and I was like, I don't really want to go home. And my uncle was like, all right, just chill here for as long as you want. And I was like, cool.
And again, just so you guys know, the guys that are watching this on YouTube and not on Twitch Live, all the links will be in the description below for everyone, so be on the lookout for that.
Absolutely.
And, other than that, I think we're good. So we will thank you guys for queuing up. We appreciate it, and thank you guys for making us part of your weekly routine.
Yeah,
We
man.
got started today, so
Yeah, two Brewfest
get on
things.
that.
Stuff to do.
Hooray,
I'm going.
beer.
Yeah.
But we will be here next week, and until then, guys, thanks for queuing up, and I hope you enjoyed your loot. You guys have a good one.
Peace.
See ya.